Will Rita be removed in the next 5 years? Will the launch be converted? Or the most exciting option, will it stay the exact same? Well, let's discuss.
Rita, Queen of Speed, your best Alton Towers ride ever.
What a load of crappy crap.
Rita, where do we start? Well, luckily I have the answer to that in this video. First of all, I'm going to talk about what potentially could happen to Rita in the next 5 years. And then at the end of the video, I'm going to talk about why Rita receives so much hate, and is it really that bad of a roller coaster? And the answer to that might not be what you're thinking, so stick around. Riding Rita is like going on a date with a tornado. It starts off really wild and exhilarating and leaves you feeling a little bit disappointed at the end, and it gets boring after a while. Okay, in my opinion, there's 3 different things that Alton Towers could do to Rita, starting off with the conversion of the launch. Now, if you don't know, Rita, of course, is manufactured by Intamin Amusement Rides. It's created rides here in the UK, such as Stealth and, of course, Rita, as I just said, but the majority of launch coasters that I've been on have been manufactured by Intamin. However, when they manufactured their older rides, such as Rita and Stealth, they used a technology called hydraulic launches, and this is basically a giant cable in the track which accelerates the train of the ride to its top speed, for example Stealth, of 80 miles per hour, and they're really quick and snappy launches. As I said, Stealth, it launches you to 80 miles per hour in less than 2 seconds. They're really quick launches. However, Intamin and other companies such as Mack have now transitioned to a new technology which uses magnets to propel the trains to its top speed. I'm not going to go in detail on how magnetic launches work, because all you need to know is that this is the new technology, and basically hydraulic launches are completely out of fashion now, and Rita still uses this technology. So in the future, could we see maybe Intamin contracted into Alton Towers to come and convert Rita into this new magnetic technology? From a business point of view, it doesn't really make sense just to do this, because you can't really rebrand it because it's still a launch. However, Alton Towers may decide to do this if, for example, one day something quite major goes wrong on Rita, maybe the launch cable snaps or something goes wrong with the mechanical systems, that maybe the high up CEOs and managers will be thinking maybe it's time to do something, because in the long term a magnetic launch will be more reliable for the park, and if something goes wrong with these hydraulic launches, it's going to cost them quite a lot to fix it. So they may think they might as well rip that launch out and get a new magnetic launch. It would make sense if something major goes wrong. However, if something doesn't go wrong and Rita's still reliable, then from Alton Towers' point of view, there's literally no point on putting a new magnetic launch in if the launches that they've got now is working fine. It just doesn't make sense. Now, the next things that could happen to Rita in the foreseeable future, the next 5 years, is that it's completely removed from the surface of the Earth. It could be totally ripped out by Alton Towers and replaced with something much bigger and better, not forgetting that tree line restriction. Now I'm going to talk about why Rita is particularly hated in the theme park community, but before that, let's just think of a few roller coaster types that could replace Rita, because let's be honest, there are more exciting and thrilling rides in the world than Rita. First of all, it could be a family roller coaster, something similar to Hagrid's motorbike adventure over at Universal Studios Island of Adventure. Something similar to that could happen at Alton Towers. A launch coaster removed for a launch coaster. A launch for a launch. The battle of the launches.
Round 1, fight!
No, seriously though, this is something that could happen. I like the seating on Hagrid's motorbike adventure over at Universal. Does look like a really good ride. I think there's 3 launches on that roller coaster. So imagine that in the dark forest area, sort of weaving out in and out of the trees, because it is quite a foresty area, dark forest. Potentially some interactions with 13, you never know. 2 family coasters in the same area at Alton Towers. But the only thing that makes me think that this isn't the perfect coaster for this area is that in 2025, Project Horizon will be coming to Alton Towers. I think we've completely forgot about Project Horizon with Nemesis at the minute. But it will still be coming. They got granted planning permission recently, so we know that's going to be coming to Alton Towers, and it's rumored to be a family roller coaster. I think it's going to be an Intamin multi-dimensional coaster, which is very family orientated. So 2 family coasters in a similar sort of time frame, I don't think Alton Towers would do. I think if they were to replace Rita, it would be with something a little bit more thrilling. Something more thrilling, something more thrilling, something more thrilling. Well, that calls for a launched wing coaster. We recently got a B&M launch wing coaster over at Chessington World of Adventures, and what a ride that is. So something similar 2, World of Jumanji's Mandrill Mayhem, could potentially make its way to Alton Towers. We know that Merlin have good contacts with B&M. They worked with them at Chessington. They're also working with them currently for the retrack of Nemesis. So, you know, this could be a new B&M roller coaster. You never know. B&M have some awesome designs and their quality is unbeaten. I love B&M. They create some of the best roller coasters. Shambhala over at PortAventura is one of my favorite B&Ms ever created, and Oblivion at Alton Towers is also very good. Something that Alton Towers don't have as well is a wing coaster, and a launched one would be a perfect replacement for Rita. There's only 2 wing coasters in the UK currently, the Swarm at Thorpe Park and the new Mandrill Mayhem at Chessington World of Adventures. So a wing coaster would be a pretty perfect fit for Alton Towers. And as I said, I think it'd be a launched wing coaster because, of course, that tree line restriction, that pesky tree line restriction at Alton Towers would probably prevent them from creating a huge lift hill, which is quite common with the B&M wing coasters. However, they could dig down like they did with Nemesis, create some nice rock work.
You really think your feet are going to crack against the rock?
And yeah, dig down and create a lift hill that just meets the tree line, and then yeah, have the rest of the ride layout. You never know, but I think a wing launch coaster would be a really good fit for Alton Towers. Have it themed to some sort of monster in Dark Forest which is slowly crawling out, I don't know, something like that. Alton Towers, we know they can do theming, but this would be a really good ride type for the park. Potentially, could we see Rita replaced with an S&S Axis coaster? Maybe the Axis will axe Rita because it's an Axis coaster?
As my genius is, it's almost frightening.
One of these has never been built before. It's only been built up at the S&S factory. So it'd be really cool to see one of these finally come to a park. We know Merlin likes to do things on quite a good budget, and this would probably be pretty cheap as it is just a prototype at the minute. So it'd be interesting to see one of these. You've got the novelty, of course, with the swinging trains on that as well. So it would please the general public. And I'd definitely really like to ride these one day as well. So it'd be perfect to have it at a park that's quite close. And we all know the tree line restriction at Alton Towers is a little bit of a pain.
And join the heroes, those few who can fly.
No, not that type of pain. However, we've seen other theme parks can create really highly immersive launch roller coasters, such as Taron over at Phantasialand. That is a really, really good looking roller coaster, I'll tell you that. With all the rock work around it, it does look really good. And something similar to that could be making its way to Alton Towers to replace Rita. It shows how theming can have such a big impact on a roller coaster experience. Now, the other option that Alton Towers could do with Rita is simply keep it. No, they wouldn't do that, would they? Well, they have kept some rides over their due date, not mentioning any names at all. Now, why do so many enthusiasts have a strong hatred towards Rita? Now, me personally, I did used to detest the ride. However, over time, I've actually realised that Rita is a decent roller coaster.
What the hell did you just say?
Okay, before you all start typing on your keyboards, Rita is by no means the best roller coaster in the world, but the launch is very snappy. You do have to admit, I much prefer the hydraulic launches rather than the magnetic launches, because they just feel more impactful, they feel more forces on your body, and they're just so quick and snappy. For example, if you compare Icon and Rita, you can't really compare them. Rita has a much better launch. However, what lets Rita down is the rest of the ride layout. Dark Forest is a dark area, and the rest of the Rita layout is pretty dull and dark. There's a few airtime moments which are very restricted with the overhead restraint, and that's pretty much the ride layout. It's pretty rough this past season, in my opinion. It's been quite jolty on some of the transitions of Rita. They're quite snappy, but the launch is very good. I do have to admit, I like the launch of Rita. Other enthusiasts will say, oh, it's rubbish compared to the likes of Stealth, which yes, Stealth is faster. It's obviously going to be more better, but for what Rita is, it's actually okay. Is Rita the
Queen of Speed?
No, definitely not. You must be having a laugh. It's not the Queen of Speed at all. Another thing that really lets Rita down as well is its lack of theming. If you could let me know where theming is on Rita, do let me know in the comment section down below, because the only theming that I've seen on Rita is the entrance and the operation box. That's all the theming on Rita. A lot of it was removed when the drag racing sort of theme was removed from it, when 13 took over the area, and of course it was Dark Forest. A lot of that theming was removed. The Rita logo was changed along with the Queen of Speed slogan to it as well. So Rita's just sort of there in Dark Forest. It doesn't particularly have a strong place in the area, like with the storyline of 13, for example. Rita doesn't really make sense in the area, but the colours sort of go. I'll give it that, I guess. But as I said earlier, theming can really make a huge difference to a ride experience. Look at Taron over at Phantasialand, all that rock work. Maybe if Rita had more theming, it would be the best ride at Alton Towers. You never know. But there we go, there's some of my suggestions on what could happen to Rita in the foreseeable future, and also why enthusiasts don't particularly like the ride. But Rita, roller coaster, if you're watching this video, I have some advice for you. Please consider taking up yoga, because maybe then you'll find the right balance between speed, a good ride layout, and also theming. What do you think could happen to Rita in the foreseeable future? Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. And do you think Rita is an overhated ride at Alton Towers? Let me know in the comment section down below. Hang on one second. Who am I actually talking to? Who watches this far into the video? Well, if you're still here, thank you so much for watching right till the end of the video. Thank you so much. I have literally nothing to gift you. However, once again, I can give you a sentence, and that is Rita is the Queen of Speed. Comment that down below if you made it this far into the video. And also, why aren't you subscribed? Subscribe right now, otherwise I'll get Rita to race round to your house and press subscribe for you. Thank you. Goodbye.